Hey guys, welcome to Kickstart Adventures. The old copper's at it again. We're going to do another brew. So we're going to do some beautiful grains. I'm doing barley, rye and corn grain, corn malt. I'm going to mash it all together, put it in the steeping pot and extract the sugars in preparation for a beautiful bourbon. We might even get some whiskey flavoring out of some of it as well. So we'll see how it goes. So what I've got over here, I've got my grains. I've got 6.5 kilograms of barley, crushed barley, 2.5 kilograms of maize, and I've also got 800 grams of rye malt. So that should be the beginnings of an amazing bourbon that I'm going to make. So I've got all the ingredients. Here's my steeping pot at the moment. I've got that on gas. That's going, heating up to 65 degrees. Once it's reached 65 degrees, then we'll put the different ingredients in, the grains in, and we'll let it steep. We'll add some amylase, some alpha amylase to convert the starch into sugar, and also some of the other product we got here. The first one is the alpha amylase. That's for liquefaction, turning the sugars into liquid, and then also glucoamylase for satification. That breaks down dextrins into simple sugars, and that's what we want. We want to draw from the grain, the barley, the malt and the rye, get out all the starch, convert that starch to sugar, then ferment it, and then put it through the still. So let's go, guys. Check this out, guys. It's coming on so nicely. Just have a look at this grain. It's barley, corn and rye. It is just so good, and the smell, you can smell the sweetness starting to come out of it now. Starches are being released, and our base wash is in process. Just look at that. It's like a good cereal in the morning. A good healthy breakfast. It smells good, man, but the end product is going to be even better. Oh, it is just so cool. Right, temperature check. I don't want it to get too hot at this stage. Once the steeping is done, we ramp the temperature up to 100 degrees. We let it boil, and then after that we add the what is it called, the glucoamylase in for satification. Yeah, it's going up. There you can see it's at 60, going up to 65. Pretty cool. At this point, we're going to add the alpha amylase, and the alpha amylase, what it does is it converts the starch that has been released into sugar. So let's do that now. So we'll give it a good stir and let it steep for a little while longer. While I'm waiting for this beautiful wash to steep, all the starches to be released, I just want to sit here and get the smell from it, the lovely odors of that grain, barley, rye and corn coming through. Sweet, I can smell the sweetness in it already. I might have a drop from my previous produce. So what I've got here is a spiced rum, and it's got a bit of vanilla flavor, spiced rum. So that should be quite nice. It is nice. That's my previous thing, and I'll have it with a bit of Coke as normal. So there we go. Let's have a look. Very nice. A bit of Coke. I have Coke with all my various mixes that I make. The life, eh? In the sun. Beautiful. This rum is amazing. I made it from blackstrap molasses. was a good rum, and added a bit of vanilla flavoring, spiced rum. It's absolutely delicious. Check it out, guys. Got my little stag there, enjoying the finer things in life. Amazing. Check it out, the brew on the go. I've got a nice rum here that I'm busy with. There's my little shed. There's the still that we're going to put into practice, put it into use, get it up and running next week after the fermentation of this wash that I'm busy doing over here. But we'll put it through there. The vapors will go up and down and through the condenser and come out of that wee little orifice over there. It's so good. So looking forward to it, man. So what I'm going to do is just sit here, enjoy my drink. I'm going to do a nice ribeye on the barbecue tonight and enjoy this whole process. So relaxing, so relaxing. Awesome, guys. We'll catch up soon, eh? Cheers, guys. What we're going to do now is sparge out. So what sparging is, it's actually separating the grain from the wash, but there's still some sugar in the grain, so we need to sparge it. So that means separating it first of all, and then you'll put some more warm water through it to drain out the last of the sugars. So what I've got is I've got my bucket over here, and I've got a nice sieve to scoop the grain out, and we'll get the grain separated. So see how much water's in this grain? So basically we just go through this process, let it rinse most of the liquid out. We'll put it in this bucket, and then we'll put water through it again and get the last of the sugars out of it. So that should be good. Alright, so that's the process. I'll just do another bucket. There we go, another handful. And if I just rest it down like this, it drains back in, and then we have just the liquid in the actual boiler, and the grain over here. We'll sparge this grain to get more of the sugars out of it, and then that all goes together in the one wash that is ready for fermentation once the temperature comes down. But there's still another process that we'll go through before we put the fermentation in, before we pitch the yeast. So just another look at the sparging process. We're separating the grain from the wash. All the good sugar is in the wash, the flavors, and we're separating the grain. Look at that, just trickling back in again, getting the dry grain out. Not dry, but still got a bit of sugar in it. We'll sparge it by putting clean hot water through it, and we'll take that water and add it to the wash. Right guys, so I've got all the starch out now. That's all the starch, the grain, and that's the wash there. So that's just water and the sugars that have been separated from the grain. Starch converted to sugar, and that's the beginning of a beautiful wash. Add the next product in, the glucoalumase, which is just going to soften the sugars, liquefy them, and then that can cool down. It can go into our stilling container, not stilling, our fermenting container, and the fermentation process can begin. Alright guys, so now what we're doing is we're putting in the glucoalumase. That's for satification. It breaks down dextrins into simple sugars, and this amount is for 25 liters. So we're going to add that to the wash, and what that does is it's going to break down the sugars, and as it says here, satification, that's the word. Right, give that a stir. So check that out, guys. The grain all done, all the starch out, all the sugars in our container, ready for fermentation very shortly. Okay guys, steeping process is now done. So what we're going to do now is we're busy taking from our boiler, we're taking it out, putting it through the sieve again, the Wurst, just to get all the bits of grain, the last little bits out of here. So it's been steeping for another hour now. So altogether it's steeped at 65 degrees for about an hour, and then at about 75 for another 45 minutes, and then we just brought it up to the boil and brought it back down again. So this will be all good, a lot of sugar content here hopefully, and hopefully we're going to get a good bourbon out of it. I'm going to pitch it with some yeast, some bourbon yeast, and then I might just, a couple of bottles, I might just add some whiskey flavoring, some smoky whiskey flavoring, and see how that comes out. Okay, we're nearly there. So we need to get 23 litres. This boiler that I've made is made from an old copper cylinder. The old cylinders had thick copper in them and they were quite rigid, so it really works well. Oh man, it looks like I'm going to have just the right amount here. Look and see this. This is all the grain that was left once I've taken all the grain out, so that worked really well. Alright, so the last little bit, I think I could just pick this up and pour it in. Look at that. Now we want 23 litres, so I think I can add at least 2 litres of water to that to bring it up to 23. Mate, that is awesome. Alright, I'm going to move this now from here over to my shed over there, and then we'll get it ready for pitching the yeast. So the wash is now cooled down to temperature about 25 degrees, and now I'm going to pitch the yeast. Yeah, so this is a bourbon yeast that I'm pitching, and that's going to get the fermentation progress or process going. Alright guys, so there's the wash now. I've just pitched the yeast and I'll put the lid on, and when I come and have a look tomorrow morning, the fermentation process would have begun. So that's all good. Next week we're going to put it through the still. Look forward to that. I've checked the specific gravity of it, and right now the specific gravity is 1.090. So it's quite high in sugar. Not as high as if you're just making a complete sugar wash, but there's a lot of sugar out of the starches that we've got out of the grain. So that's good. We'll see what it ends up in. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Yeah, and if you found the video interesting to watch, why don't you subscribe? Also, if you go back at my channel and have a look at some of the other drinks that I've made some vodka, some gin, some rum, some whiskies, and a few others, so you might enjoy the process. Again, thanks for watching. We'll catch up on the next one. See you next week, guys, as we put this bourbon through the still.